and welcome to Money Life. This is Sucheta Dalal. We're going to talk about broker defaults again. I've been repeatedly saying that we've had 20 broker defaults since November 2019, which is an extremely high number and almost seems to take us back to the days when we did not even have a capital market regulator. What is the provocation for this particular piece? Very interesting. Two things. One is that SEBI issued an order on 9th March imposing a fine of 90 lakhs after adjudication on the promoters of Anugraha Share and Stock Broking. This, if you remember, has been covered extensively by Money Life. We are the ones who broke the issue, and we found out that the amount was over 1300 crore at stake. There's no money. For more than a year, people have been struggling to find a way to recover their own savings. They've been fed with lies, and they've knocked on SEBI's doors, they've knocked on the National Stock Exchange's doors, and finally, when they began to get some niggardly amounts from NSE's Investor Protection Fund, in fact, some of them got demand notices, they have gone to the Bombay High Court. Now, we again, through Money Life Foundation, which is our NGO, played a big role in putting together a lot of investors. This time, there's been collective action. Not a class action, collective action by a bunch of investors who have managed to get very good legal representation, people who understand securities laws well, and they have made tremendous progress. Now, what is it that I find outrageous about the 90 lakh penalty? This is a firm which has no money because the regulators were sleeping at the wheel, did not do their job. What is the purpose of imposing a penalty which can never be recovered except to pretend that you're doing your job and rub salt in investors' wounds? Now, if this is not enough, there was a question asked in Parliament where Anurag Thakur has talked about Karvy. Remember, Karvy got 1 year where it was suspended, and the NSE was confident that it has so much of assets that it's going to sell all of them and it's going to repay investors. It did not happen. So 1 year later, when nobody was being paid, it was finally expelled. This amount is huge. It's over 2,500 crore, as the Minister Anurag Thakur has said. The important part in the answer is that SEBI is supposed to have started action against the National Stock Exchange. Now, my question is that you had 20 broker defaults since November 2019. In fact, the latest is in February 2021, a firm called Arcadia. There was one more before that. If this is the number of broker defaults, is SEBI going to start slow proceedings against the NSE in each one of them? It has also said in the Bombay High Court, where investors have taken the Anugraha issue, on 8th March, a supplementary note was submitted by SEBI, which has made some really interesting points, and I'm going to run you through them. Where again it talks about calling NSE for fortnightly meetings to discuss broker defaults. Now, my point is that you can't keep doing this individually. There are 20, and we are not even counting the voluntary closures. You cannot run, when there are 20, it's a systemic issue. It's not 1, 2, or 3. So you need systemic solutions. You can't keep serving separate notices and pull up the NSE and maybe wrap it gently on its knuckles after a while. 4 or 5 years later, you need to do something today as a capital market regulator to protect investors. Remember, and I'm never tired of saying this, the preamble to the SEBI Act puts investor protection ahead of market regulation. So 20 defaults is back to the bad 90s before SEBI was formed, and I think I'm going to make a request this time that the finance minister needs to step in. She is the one who showed that she's serious about finding out what happened with the NSE glitch. I think she's the one who has to call attention to the fact that this systemic issue has to be fixed. Now, I'm basing all this on SEBI's submission to the High Court in the Anugraha issue on 8th March. And I'm going to run you through a few things that it has said. So there's a huge chronology of what SEBI has done to tell the court, we have been so busy, we've done a lot of work. One of these is, the point is that SEBI says The regulator found out that there's something dodgy about Anugraha based on market intelligence, which itself is a great surprise, positive surprise in this case, and asked NSE to do a forensic audit. There was a preliminary audit done by Ernst & Young, which found only a problem of 165 crore, and that too from one firm, an associate firm called Om Shri Sai. We've gone through this in the past. You can see our other video blogs. Nowhere did they have a clue that it was not 165 crores but 1300 crores. But action started. They went to the appellate tribunal, which gave them time. The company, the broking firm, couldn't pay 165 crore and it was finally expelled. That's when the dirt began to spill out very, very rapidly. In July, a show cause notice was issued, and again, I'm not going to run through the documentation except to point out a few key issues. What did the forensic audit finally show on 6th October 2020? That there was a shortfall of client funds, shortfall of client securities, which was big. Records were wrong. Payments made to clients in spite of them having debit balances. First of all, we don't know whether the debit balances were correct, but when the client had a debit, they were getting a return. Now, this is a hallmark of a Ponzi scheme, which means you keep taking money from new people and give it back to pretend that there are high returns, when in fact there are no returns at all possibly. And that came true because the firm folded up. On 15th October, SEBI also added some serious violations. It talked about falsification accounts, misuse of client funds to the tune of nearly 300 crore, 297, misuse of client securities, which is even bigger, 683 crore, and payments of over 134 crore to, like I said, people with debit balances. By then the Ponzi scheme had run its course. There was no money and the complaints were pouring, became 1300 crore. People applied to the NSE Investor Fund. They thought that they're going to get their money. It was discovered that Edelweiss had a funny role to play. Edelweiss is the clearing broker in this case. There is action from the NSE and SEBI. Edelweiss is contesting it. It's in court. It's before the SAT. I'm sure it's going to go to the Supreme Court. It's not going to pay up easily. So that money hasn't come. Investors have been left high and dry. So out of 25 lakhs, most of them have been told that if you had any kind of derivatives advisory service, which means that you were not buying and trading on your own and using Anugraha only as a broker, but you were doing some kind of illegal portfolio management scheme, which is a derivatives advisory scheme. SEBI, of course, did not detect it. NSE did not detect it, did not see any problem with the failure in margins. But clients are going to be told that if this didn't happen, you don't get paid money. Now, I find this very strange because NSE cannot have its cake and eat it too. So NSE can't say that I will not pay you from the Investor Protection Fund because you are part of a derivatives advisory service. NSE can't say I failed to detect everything, all statements were falsified. Now, if statements are falsified to the exchange, which is a regulator, which has the powers, which can conduct an audit, which can conduct a regular audit, a search, a forensic audit, how is an investor to know any better? But there were debit balances, so NSE has sent out claim notices, not a small number. It has sent out demands for 223 crore to 854 clients of Anugraha. I mean, look at the shocking thing. These are people who've lost their savings, they have false statements, and NSE is now saying you pay out of your pocket. Forget what is gone, we are holding you responsible for more. What is SEBI doing? Just watching. SEBI has done nothing. If it wasn't dragged to court in the Anugraha case, SEBI would have remained silent. So it is at least answering a few queries in court because the court is asking questions. Edelweiss is there, NSE is there. Now, my point is that NSE has got an artificial cutoff. So there are 2-3 things over here. NSE says anything beyond 90 days will not be paid from the Investor Protection Fund. Anything that seems part of a derivative advisory service will not be paid. Can NSE be allowed to continue making self-serving rules that preserve its Investor Protection Fund? We've talked about this before. NSE's Investor Protection Fund, under pressure when we started pointing out how many broker defaults are happening, had been increased from maybe 300 odd crores to 1500 crores, out of which only 1200 has brought in 300 crores in the form of securities. This is under pressure from us. Is it enough? By way of comparison, Bombay Stock Exchange accounts for less than 10% of trading, and it has an investor protection of fund of over 800 crores. The numbers are all here in the ticker. You can see the precise numbers there. Now, very clearly, you need SEBI to say, we are taking charge, enough with the show cause notices individually for each failure, and come forward and look at things systemically. I'm saying that since SEBI is quiet for 2 years, maybe the finance ministry needs to ask some questions. And I'm listing out what the questions will be. Before we feel sorry for the NSE, please remember, this is an extraordinarily profitable exchange. In fact, it is one of the most profitable companies in the world, okay? And it is a near monopoly in India. I'm showing you a table. This is the half-yearly results of NSE. It says it's got a 94% market share in the cash market, 100% in equity options and equity futures, 72% of the currency futures market, and 67% of currency options. That weren't enough. Its EBITDA margin is a massive 76%. And in spite of all the problems, the algo scam, the money that is put in a escrow account, it relentlessly makes money. So investors lose money. It is not doing its risk management. It is not able to do proper oversight on brokers, but 39% is the increase in revenue to 2,658 crore in the first half of FY 2021. Now, it's going to end the year with over 5,000 crore probably in revenue. And it is extraordinarily profitable. Look at this table of NSE's revenues. If you ask me, this kind of exchange can't throw up its hands and say, sorry, we didn't detect what is wrong. There is something really wrong in its risk management systems. The buck for all this stops at the regulator. What is the regulator doing after 20 broker defaults? We don't know. So we are asking the finance ministry to step in and hold both SEBI and NSE accountable. Here are a few things it needs to do. You need a complete overhaul of NSE Clearing Limited, because that is taking securities. You remember there is a problem in India Nivesh and others where the quality of securities had funded fixed deposits which the bank wouldn't honor. Advocate Ravichandra Hegde, who is fighting the case for Anugrah investors in the Bombay High Court, says that something really shocking. He says there is on paper a settlement guarantee fund which is supposed to provide a lot of safety and comfort to investors. It has never been used. The Investor Protection Fund also, as you know, doesn't get depleted because they don't pay. They find the exchange is allowed to make rules which find ways not to pay even this maximum of 25 lakhs that they're supposed to pay. So I'm asking the finance ministry, let's have a complete overhaul of NSE's risk management systems, because it has failed not to anticipate 1 or 2 broker defaults, but 20 and counting. The latest 2 being in 2021, the first couple of months. Second, ask NSE to report broker defaults in greater detail. You will find very little on NSE's website. You'll find more details on the BSE website, which is scandalous because a lot of times BSE has to just follow and expel the broker when there is a problem with the NSE. The Investor Protection Fund cannot be 1,500 crores. SEBI thinks it's done a big job. SEBI is not doing anything about payments not being made. It has to go up to 10,000 crore. You can't boast about NSE being the largest derivatives exchange in the world, the 3rd largest exchange in the world, and say when it comes to investor protection, it is a niggardly 1,500 forced out of it, which it is working overtime not to pay out. That can't go on. It has to be supplemented. And the third, revamp the criteria for compensating investors in case of a default. Surely there has to be, NSE has failed 20 times. There has to be some kind of exemplary damage, and that money has to be distributed among people who have lost money in the last 20 broker defaults. There has to be an equitable system. SEBI can surely do it, put up a committee and find a way. The rules for who gets compensated can't be made by the exchange. First, you improve the risk management system, but let SEBI step in and say, after all, this is a regulatory function. It's a failure. It's grievance redress. That is part of SEBI's mandate. So SEBI has to decide how that money is going to be spent. NSE must be ordered to invest a lot more in risk management, audits, market intelligence, and genuine investor awareness, not sponsored programs which only bite media support, but genuinely. In fact, we've had a lot of seminars and webinars done because investors didn't even know how to apply. This is something NSE should have done proactively on its own, which it began to do. In fact, there are complaints about how few people get answers quickly. If you need to put 10 times the staff in your investor protection department, grievance redress department, do it. You are an extremely profitable exchange. You have to spend that money because it's the investors and their money and their trading that makes you profitable. Like I said, there has to be a penalty for this, and this can't be a slow process that happens individually in 20 cases. There has to be a systemic issue. SEBI needs to take it all together, do a root cause analysis, present a comprehensive report even to Parliament and the Finance Ministry, put it in the public domain and show us that the market is going to be safer and cleaner for us. Enough with broker defaults. If you agree with what I say, please spread the word, make your demands, write to SEBI, tweet about it, talk to the Finance Ministry, follow us. Thank you.